Friday there is a meeting. After that, date will be finalized. Do you know what is your first term examination will be starting from January?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম, এরকম শুনেছিলাম।
Acha, yesterday I have sent some your material regarding your coding actually. Yeah. So some books material. I think all of you have received that material. So I'm sharing the screen. The last class, just recapitulation of the last class. That is, we have started from the that is trellis-coded modulation, and the from the trellis-coded modulation. Before starting the trellis-coded modulation, we have started the concatenation coding. That means 2 or 3 code are concatenated for better coding efficiency. So for better coding gain, we are using the concatenation coding. So either that concatenation coding may be serial concatenation or maybe parallel concatenation. Okay. And trellis coded modulation, that is nothing but the combination of the coding techniques plus the modulation. Okay. So that thing already I've covered in the previous lecture. So that the trellis coded modulation, and similarly that your turbo coding, that is also a concatenation coding, like your PCM. PCM actually not the concatenation of the two coding techniques. It is a concatenation of the that is one coding and the modulation. Rather than we can say that the combination of your coding and the modulation techniques, and for getting better performance, we are considering the turbo coding. So this concatenation coding actually, why we are going for the concatenation coding? So we are concatenate different types of codes to for better coding performance or for better coding gain, to achieve the better coding gain. Okay. So this concatenation coding was first proposed by Forney. Actually, the channel coding techniques, those who are doing research in the channel coding, they are mostly follow the research of the Forney. Okay, preliminary research of the Forney. So this is nothing but the combination of different codes, and these codes are called, if when you are making a concatenation code, so the component means each code is called a components, or each block of the code is called that is a constituent codes or the component codes. So in case of coding theory, to achieve the better coding efficiency or to achieve the better coding gain, generally the techniques that is used, that we are to increase the length of the code. Concatenation, when you are concatenate, obviously two or more code you are adding cascading, not adding, that is cascading. So obviously your length of the code will be increases. So when the length of the code increases, the encoding procedure you are using to achieve the better coding gain, but the decoder design is very complex. Decoder design will be complex. Okay, so always the designer, they are tries to design the decoder in such a way, or the encoding procedure or the techniques used in such a way, so that the decoder design will be um, less complex or moderate complexity in the decoder design. Okay, so decoding algorithm should be such that it is easy to implement. So this is the concept of actually turbo code. So turbo code is a concatenation, not only the concatenation coding, the structure is such that so you are achieving the coding gain as well as your decoder algorithm, the decoding algorithm is much more easy, not that much of the complex. So this is your the turbo code. So it's a concatenation coding that is first proposed by Forney to for achieving the large coding gain, and you are combining two or more code. It's not necessary only two concatenation of codes. It's maybe multiple concatenation of the codes, and each codes are called the component codes or the constituent code of the concatenation coder. Clear? And the resulting code has had the better error correcting capability of much longer code, and that is the structure is you use a structure is such a way that permitted relatively easy to moderately complex decoding. So this concatenation is this concept is actually used for the to make the decoding procedure or decoding algorithm is less complex. Okay, and this is the basic concept of the structure of the turbo code is such that that decoding algorithm it's use actually iterative algorithm, and it is the decoding algorithm will be comparatively much more easy compared to the for the large coder design. A serial concatenation of the codes is most often used for power limited system such as transmitter on deep space code. So serial, we have already discussed the serial concatenation and the parallel concatenation. When you concat the code, so there is a vital role of your interleaver. So interleaver is very crucial when you concat the two or more code. Okay, and the it's play a crucial role in case of also turbo coding. And the serial concatenation coding, generally we are considering the concatenation of one block code and another is the convolution code. And that block code is a Reed-Solomon code that is used outer, that is treated as the outer coder and the inner. So first is a Reed-Solomon code and inner code is the your convolution code. This is the serial concatenation mostly used, and that is used for the power limited system. Okay, when the signal to noise ratio, one thing is very important, when the signal to noise ratio is large, for that case we are generally using the serial concatenation. But when signal to noise ratio is very low, for that case turbo code will be very effective coding technique. Okay. So turbo code is nothing but the refinement of concatenation coding technique. It's a structure is such that structure of the code is such that that is the parallel concatenation. So it's a refinement of coding means it is a parallel concatenation along with interleaving techniques, and it has some iterative decoding algorithm. The decoding algorithm is such that it is iterative decoding algorithm that makes the code is much more efficient for to achieve the high coding gain. Clear? And this turbo codes that is first introduced by the Boro et al. In the conference. They have that reported in the conference in the ICC 1993. And it's actually by using this turbo code, you can achieve the Shannon capacity limit. Okay, we are correcting limit of the Shannon capacity of the channel. And they reported that the bit error probability is of, if we use the turbo code, it is probable bit error probability is 10 to the power -5 with a code rate is half. Code rate half means your message is 1 and the output is 2. And the channel is a additive white Gaussian noise channel with the modulation that is used BPSK, and your signal to noise ratio is 0.7 dB. The signal to noise ratio will be 0.7 dB. So this highlighted portion is very important, that for a system of two component code, the concept behind turbo decoding. So this is the decoding part. Why I am saying number of times that the turbo code is very, very good coding techniques for your getting the better coding gain because of its iterative decoding algorithm. And its concept behind turbo decoding is to pass the solved decision from the output of one decoder to the input of the other decoder. So the decoding decision will not only taken by one decoder, it will be taken by the multiple decoder. If I say two codes codes are concatenate, obviously there will be two decoder. So if one decoder is decides something, it shares that information to the input of the other decoder. Now the other decoder will be decide something based on that decision of the first decoder, and it generates some output. Again, it's say to the first decoder that this is my decision based on your decision, that is based on your the a priori knowledge of your decision, that this is my decision, and then that decision will be fed to the input of the first decoder. So this way, number of time that is iteration, number of iteration will be going on, and finally they will take a decision. So it is the concept of the decoding algorithm of the turbo code. So the concept behind turbo decoding is to pass the solved decision from the output of one decoder to the input of the other decoder, and to iterate this process several times so as to produce more reliable decision. Clear? What I have already explained, that the first decoder based on decision of the first decoder will be fed to the input of the second decoder, and based on the knowledge of the first decision of the first decoder, the second decoder will be decide something, and then that decision again fed to the first decoder input, and this way number of time they will take the decision, and ultimately they will reach a final decision. So this will be more, that means you can say that is more easy to take the decision, and this will be always reliable. The decision will be much more reliable. And the turbo code can come closer to approaching Shannon limit than any other class of error correcting code. That is already also be mentioned by the Boro et al. In the conference ICC in 1993. So this is the code based on its structure and the soft decoding algorithm. Here the decision is your decoding algorithm is the soft decision decoding algorithm. So it's a parallel concatenation. A number of times I mentioned this is nothing but the parallel concatenation of two convolution codes. When I have considered the serial concatenation, so in case of serial concatenation, the outer code was Reed-Solomon code. So Reed-Solomon is nothing but the subclass of one type of your block code, and the inner code was the convolution code. Okay, in case of serial concatenation. But in case of when we are considering the turbo code, the two code or multiple codes that are concatenated, they are convolution code, and they will be concatenated by parallel. Okay, not serial concatenation. The arrangement should be parallel fashion. The parallel concatenated codes that have several advantage over the serial concatenated code. So that will be clear when I will explain by means of your interleader how it will be more advantageous. So in case of generally parallel concatenation, the weight of the code, the output weight of the code will be much more compared to the serial concatenation. Weight means number of non-zero in the sequence. The parallel decoder facilitates the idea of feedback in decoding to improve the performance of the system. So this thing I have already mentioned that the decision, the decoding is to pass swap decision from the output of one decoder to the input of the other decoder, and number of times this process is going on and to reach a final decision. So this is the your concept of the parallel concatenation, that the decodes this facilitate that the idea of the feedback in decoding to improve the performance of the system. So there are some obviously differences between conventional convolution codes and the turbo code. I have mentioned that turbo codes are nothing but the parallel concatenation of the convolution code, but it is not same as a convolution code. So nature will be recursive. So generally in case of your convolution code is not the recursive in nature, they are non-recursive in nature. But here it is a recursive, systematic recursive. When we are considering the convolution codes, they will be systematic recursive in nature. Several parameters affect the performance of the turbo code. What are the parameters that affect the performance of the turbo code? Is the decoding algorithm, that is component decoding algorithm. Component decoding algorithm means number of decoder. Each decoder is called component decoder. So if I consider the two convolution code are concatenated in parallel fashion, so obviously there will be the two decoder, and the two decoder, each decoder will be called a component decoder, and the performance of the your coding or that is coder design will be depends on the component decoding algorithm and the number of decoding iteration. So if your decision is based on only two iteration, so obviously that decision will not be that much of the reliable if we take the iteration 10 times. Sorry, 100 times. If I say 10 times or more than 2 times, that is 100 times. So obviously 100 times iteration to take a final decision will be much more, that means you can say much more your correct than the your iteration is based on the 2 times. Okay, so and also depends on the generator polynomial, constraint length of the component decoder. So each component encoder is nothing but the convolution convolution coder. So obviously it will be depends on the constraint length of the each convolution coder. and the generator polynomial, and what type of interleave you are using. Actually, interleaving or interleaver that is used in case of coding techniques, it's actually rearrange the bit sequence, rearrange or reordering the bit sequence, or randomize the bit sequence. Generally, we are considering the reordering. So if your information is consists of 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, so when it's passed through the interleaver, the output of the interleaver, that consecutive one will be separated. So how you are designing your interleaver. So it is that is the consecutive one will be far apart from one. That means first one to the second one and second one to the third one. Okay. So that concept already is discussed in the introduction class of the coding techniques. So now non-systematic convolution code. What code is called non-systematic convolution code? That code already we have covered in our convolution coding techniques. So if I consider a convolution code, it's a binary code and the code rate is half. That means code rate half in your message bit is 1. So input is 1 and output is 2. And the constant length is k. So obviously memory will be k minus 1. So two outputs. So that two output we are considering uk and vk. And we are considering one input is that is dk. So k is the time instant k. So because you know the convolution code means that is a your finite state machine. So you can get the dynamic nature of the code. So time history of the code by means of your trellis diagram or tree diagram. So different time instant you can get the what is the nature of the code encoder. So at the time instant k, so the bit is dk and the corresponding code what generated from the convolution code, that is uk and vk. So uk, how can you represent the uk? Uk is nothing but the generator polynomial with the your dk minus I, that is generator polynomial gi 1I, that is your generator polynomial is g1, and another is vk is the generator polynomial, other generator polynomial, how it is connected, and the previous that is the memory. This is nothing but the memory of the coder. So this g1 and g2 is the generator polynomial and dk is represented the binary digit. So your output is depends on the generator polynomial and the memory of the machine. So memory as dk is the kth instant your bit, so obviously it will be depends on the previous what is the memory of the machine. So dk minus 1. Okay, here we are considering I0 to k minus 1. So this will be the actually the non-systematic convolution codes, or that the code already I have mentioned in the convolution coding techniques. And this structure, this type of this non-systematic convolution codes, this structure can be implemented by a feed forward structure, and this feed forward structure is called, that is the discrete time can be visualized, the encoder can be visualized as a discrete time finite impulse linear system, finite impulse response linear system. So it's like a FIR. FIR you have already studied in DSP, digital signal processing, that is finite impulse response filter. Similarly here, finite impulse response linear system. So the non-systematic convolution coder can be visualized as a FIR system, or you can say this non-systematic convolution code can be say in terms of a non-recursive system. Recursive and non-recursive. Recursive means feedback, and this will be feed forward system. So giving rise to familiar systematic convolution code. So this can be said as a non-systematic convolution code, or in other way you can say it is a your non-recursive code. Okay. So the structure will be looks like that. We have already familiar with this structure. So for this case, generator polynomial is G111. Here is 101. So G1 is 111, G2 is 101, and there is there is three. Your memory means here is constant length is K. So 3 seed register are here. So and output is 2. Okay. So it is this type of structure is mostly gives better performance when the signal to noise ratio is large. EB by N0 is large. This structure, that is non-systematic convolution code structure or non-recursive structure. So this structure is also called non-recursive structure because it is a feed-forward system. Okay, this is a feed-forward system or FIR structure. So this type of coding structure is performed better when signal to noise ratio is large. Clear? Now I'm going to the recursive structure. For small signal to noise ratio value, the non-recursive structure will not perform well, but for that case, we have to be given the recursive structure of the convolution code. So because recursive structure will be performed better for that case. And this type of structure will be visualized as a IIR system, that is infinite impulse response system. So if we give say one input at the input of the system, you will get at the output infinite times. So infinite impulse response. So number of ones you will get. Clear what I am saying? If I apply a single 1 of sequence to the input of the recursive system, that system will be generated at the output at it is an infinite impulse response. It will be gives the output of number of ones, 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 like that, because depending on the interleaving interleaver and the structure of the code. So this is the advantage of the recursive structure. So the class of infinite impulse response convolution code has been proposed as a building block of turbo code. So turbo code is nothing but the structure of the turbo code is, I have already mentioned, the coding gain, you can achieve the coding gain, better coding gain because of its structure. So structure is the recursive. Convolution code, turbo code structure is recursive in nature. It is not only the parallel concatenation, but recursive structure, recursive systematic, not only recursive, it is also systematic. Which code is called systematic? Where your that is systematic means this is the message and the parity bit is added. It's follow some fashion in such a way that is it is either appended that is after the message bit or before the message bit. Okay, prior to message bit or the your end of the message bit. So it is a systematic addition of your parity bit to generate the code. So that code is called the systematic. So in case of your turbo code, the structure follow the systematic. So that means systematic way your parity bits are added. Also the recursive means it's if you visualize the structure will be like a infinite impulse response filter. Or not filter, infinite impulse response type of your system. Such building blocks are also referred to as recursive systematic convolution code. Because why it is recursive? Because there is a feedback, not feed forward. So previously encoded information bits are continually fed back to the encoder input. Clear? So this is your advantage of your turbo code. It is a recursive, systematic, and the recursive. So previously encoded information bits that will be feedback to the input of the encoder. And for high code rate, recursive systematic convolution codes result better in error performance compared to non-systematic code. Okay, for any value of signal to noise ratio. Now, a binary half code rate recursive code is obtained from the non-recursive code by using the feedback loop and setting one of the two in output UK or VK equal to DK. So how it will be looks like? It will be looks like the structure will be like that. It is a feedback structure. See here, feedback structure. So this is the encoder. If I say this is your encoder, it will be this is your encoder. So obviously the encoder previously encoded information is feedback to the encoder input, and an output, and setting one of the two output UK or VK equal to DK. See, two output UK and VK. As it is a systematic, so one output is equal to the message bit or information bit DK, and other output VK is predicted. That means encoded information is feedback to the encoder input, and that will be gives you the output. So AK is predicted based on the previously encoded information plus your DK. So DK plus your previously encoded, so previous these two, and your that is your depending on the modulo, that is generator polynomial. Clear? So turbo encoding and turbo code structure. So these things already I have mentioned, but again I am repeating these lines. That is, a turbo encoder is sometimes built by using two identical convolution code of special types such as recursive systematic type with parallel concatenation. One thing is important here: two identical convolution codes. This thing is not mentioned in these slides. That if two identical convolution codes are used, then that type of your turbo coding is called your that is symmetric structure. And if the two convolution code structure are not identical, for that case, that is called the asymmetric turbo code. Okay, asymmetric turbo code. Systematic turbo code, that is not systematic, that is symmetric, is very easy to handle, and that's why we are considering the symmetric structure. So two identical convolution code of special types such as recursive systematic type of parallel concatenation. So it may be different, not identical. So if it is identical, then that is called the recursive systematic with symmetric structure turbo code. And if it is not identical, then This is called a recursive systematic but non-symmetric structure target. Clear? So that term is not mentioned here. And individual encoder is termed as component encoder. This thing already I have mentioned. And interleaver separates the two component encoder. So this thing is very important. The interleaver play a crucial role in turbo codes. So this interleaver separate two component encoder. The interleaver is a device that rearrange or reorder the data sequence in some predetermined manner. So you have designed your interleaver. So how much of separation is required in your bit sequence between two ones. So there, based on that, you have designed your interleaver. So it is predetermined. So you have designed that thing. So obviously, based on that, when the bit sequence pass through the interleaver, so it will be rearranged based on your pre-designed manner. Only one of the systematic output from the two component encoder is used to form a code word as a systematic output. From the other component encoder is only a permuted version of the chosen systematic output. So there is two output I have already mentioned, UK and VK. If I say UK and VK, two output. So out of these two output, two component encoder is used to form code word, as systematic output from other component encoder is only permuted version of the chosen systematic. So one goes to, that is without interleaver, and other goes to the interleaver. So that is the permuted version of the chosen systematic output. So it will be looks like that. See here. Here we are considering the identical structure and only two parallel concatenation. So encoder 1 and encoder 2. So bit sequence directly goes to the encoder 1. Okay. And bit sequence is passed to the encoder 2 by an interleaver. So the interleaver is reordering this input bit sequence or rearranging the input sequence. So obviously the input of encoder 1 and input of encoder 2 is different. So obviously output will be changes according to them. Then there is a punching and the multiplexing. Generally punching is generally used in case of your coding techniques, that means deletion of some bits to decrease the overhead. Actually, when you are concatenated number of codes, so your code length is increases. So large code length. So large code length means your bandwidth requirement is also be increases. So that's why some of the bits you delete. So you delete the bits in such a fashion that it's not degrade the performance of the coding system too much. Okay, so that is called the punching actually. And this structure looks like is that. So this encoder 1 or encoder 2, as it is identical. So this is a recursive systematic convolution code. 212 means to output 2, input 1, and 2 is the constant length. So 2, your SIB register D1, D and D, 2 SIB register, they are that is systematic, recursive systematic structure. So here it is a feedback. There is this output is also feedback to the input of the encoder, and that is one input is directly go to the output. If I say this is U1 and it is V1, or UK and VK, so this will be systematic because it is a directly information is goes to the U1 or UK, and this VK is gives you the parity bit actually. Okay, this is the parity bit, and this arrangement is in recursive in nature. That is a feedback connection is there. If it is non-recursive, then this feedback is should be the feed forward. So this arrow will be goes here. See in our previous slide, this arrow is goes here. Okay, but your next slide arrow is feedback. Clear? So parallel concatenation, that is two encoder identical structure. It will be looks like that. Two encoder with feedback connection, that is recursive in nature. Two convolution coder with recursive systematic convolution code, and they are parallel concatenation. So information decay is directly passed on to the first encoder, but it will be go to the second encoder through an interleaver. So this interleaver rearrange or reordering the bit sequence decay before pass on to the second encoder. Clear? So obviously, this output, that is UK, is your systematic output, and this is your nothing but the information, because it is directly goes to this. So this is your message bit, and this VK is switch on either, that is it is switch from V1K to V2K. It's maybe number of parallel concatenation, so it will be there will be switch. So this will be nothing but the parity bit. Okay, so this parity bit, so it will be V1, V2, V3 up to Vn minus 1. Okay, if I say V0, V1, V2, V3 like that. So why this recursive structure is used? So this recursive structure actually based on this recursive structure, why not the non-recursive? We have already mentioned that the recursive structure, it is gives the better coding efficiency for low signal to noise ratio. When the data rate is high, so obviously the performance of the recursive convolution code or turbo code perform better. So in case of recursive structure, the weight distribution for the code word out of this parallel concatenation depends on how the code word from one of the component encoder are combined with the code word from the other encoder. Weight distribution means number of ones within your information bits or information sequence. Each block of information, how many ones are there? That is your weight. So how the weight are distributed at the output of the encoder, so that will be can be depends on the parallel concatenation, depends how the code word from one component encoder are combined with the code word from the other encoder. Generally, in case of feed forward means that is non-recursive or non-systematic convolution code. If I consider two generator polynomial, it will be of this form: 1 plus d square, 1 plus d plus d square. You can say d means nothing but 1 plus x plus x square. If I consider the generator polynomial of this form, so 1 plus d square means what is the g1? G1 is 1, 0, 1. And 1d plus d square means 1, 1, 1, that I have already mentioned two generator polynomial here. 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0, 1. So we can write this thing as, this can be written as 1 plus d square means 1, 0, 1. This is 1, 0, 1 and this is 1, 1, 1. Clear? Generator polynomial. Previously we have mentioned as 1 plus x square or 1 plus x square, like that. Okay. And this structure, if we use this structure, then this structure produces the code word with very low weight. For instance, if a single one, if we pass a single one input to the encoder, so 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0 gives a code word equal to the generator sequence, and it will propagate through any interleaver as a single one. This produces a large number of code word with very low weight. So what does it mean? For this type of structure, if the generator polynomial of this thing, so if your sequence contains a single one, though it is passed through the interleaver, but after the interleaver, it passed through the your that is a coder, and the coder will be non-recursive feed forward system. So it will be generate the sequence of the single weight. Maybe this one is rearranged in some fashion, is like that, 0, 0 number of zeros and 1 here. Here is 1 is some position, but here 1 is in different position. But the single one is also be produces after the encoding is a single one, only the position will be different. So this is called a low weight. Low weight means a single one. Okay, single one is coming to the input of the encoder. At the output of the encoder, you are also getting the same one, but in different position. So the weight is not changing. Weight is same. So it is also be low weight code word at the input of the second encoder for any interleaver design. In other words, the interleaver could not influence the output code word weight distribution if the component codes are not recursive. If it is not in recursive in nature, but in recursive, I am coming that point by using a structure, then it will be more clear. But in case of recursive structure, as it is a feedback in nature, so that it produces your high weight. If input is low weight, but the output of the encoder gives you the high weight. If the component codes are recursive, a weight 1 input sequence generate an infinite impulse response. That means infinite weight output. Okay. Therefore, for the case of recursive code, the weight 1 input sequence does not yield the minimum weight code word out of the encoder. Always we are considering the Hamming distance should be large and the high weight of the weight should be high. Otherwise, there will be very high chances of the noise in your coding system, and decoder decision may be the wrong. And in recursive structure, it will be just like a division, that is G2 by G1. So because of this, it will be generates the low weight input to the high weight. Low weight input to the high weight. It is infinite impulse response system, and is generate infinite weight output. Okay. So as a result, weight 1 input gives a code word of semi-infinite weight. It diverges from all zero path but never remerge. You know that when you decode your system, so you have to consider the trellis diagram. So trellis diagram always from the 0, 0, 0 state, there is a divergence of the path, and at the final state, it will be again remerges. But as in this case, the single one input is produces an infinite response or semi-infinite way, so it is diverges from the zero path and never remerges. So there will be some truncation should be there, and there will always exist a trellis path that diverge and remerges later corresponding to a weight 2 data sequence. So as it is a your it is not remerge, so you have to be truncate by addition of some, by adding some zero actually with your message information, some zero also be added, so that the path will be merged again. The interleaver takes each incoming block of n data bits and rearrange them in a pseudo-random fashion in order to give pattern that has a high weight. And already I have mentioned the puncher periodically deletes the selected bit to reduce coding overhead. Deletion of parity bit is recommended. So you are adding the redundant bit, that is nothing but the parity bit. So you can delete the redundant bit. Okay, but you delete the redundant bit in such a way that information can be recovered, can be reconstructed from the code one. Now I am coming how the low weight is generated, the high weight. Low weight is transformed into high weight in a recursive structure. Suppose we are considering two encoder parallel concatenation, not two encoder, but means two recursive encoder or two feedback connection convolution codes, and where your they are identical, and the encoder is 1 by 1 plus d. Here is 1 by 1 plus d. Because it is recursive in nature, it is not simply just 1 by d. Okay, it is g1 by g2. This is, or g2 by g1, how you are connecting. Okay, so depending on that. So, and the information bit is directly go to the first encoder. Information bit is passed to the second encoder by an interleaver. Now, if I consider this information is 1, so this information is directly go to V0. So you are getting 1 here. Now it is goes here. So V1, if I consider V1, so 1 by 1 plus D. So what will be the output? One input is here. This is divided by 1 by 1 plus D. So it will be, you are getting 1 into 1 by 1 plus D. So if I divide this thing, so what you will get? You will get 1 plus D square plus D cube. It is never ending, going on, isn't it? Clear this thing? So what is 1 plus D? Actually, sorry, 1 plus D means that is 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, whatever you say. So instead of input 1, if I consider a sequence of input we are applying at the here, so the input, suppose we are considering 1 plus D, that means 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, like that. So this 1 plus D coming over here, 1 plus D multiplied with 1 by 1 plus D. So what is V1? V1 is also you are getting 1, because 1 plus D multiplied with 1 by 1 plus D. So V1 is also 1. Now what is V2? What is V2? So V1 is same. It is not, it is just a 1 you are getting. But what is your V2? V2 is, it is passed through a interleaver. So this 2 1 is separated. So maybe this 1 is separated at this position here. This 1 is separated far away from the first one. Clear? So obviously when it's come over here at this point, when it's come over here, what you are getting here? You are getting is nothing but that is d to the power, that is 1 plus, this is 1 plus then 0 0 0 0 0 0 up to, suppose this is your d to the power n minus 1. So we are getting 1 plus d to the power n minus 1 at this point. And it is divided, it is multiplied by 1 plus d. So 1 plus d. So again you will get number of your 1 plus d square plus d cube up to number. So this will gives you 1 plus 1 plus. So it will be gives you the weight is 1 1 1 1 1 1. Number of 1 is generated. So this interleaver play a crucial role because it is rearrange the bit, and as it is a recursive nature, so when it is just, it is the your what I can say, that is your generator polynomial is such that that is a division type. So obviously when it is divided, this, if here is 2 weight input, but after division it will gives you the multiple weight 1. So the low weight is transformed into high weight by means of the recursive structure. This thing is clear, because if it is a board work, then it will be much more clear to you. Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the, if we apply a low weight input to the turbo code, that generate a high weight input. That's why we are using the recursive structure and the interleaver. So instead of the single interleaver, you can use the another encoder and another interleaver, and that this interleaver and the other interleaver may be in the different fashion. Okay, clear? So now in case of punching, sometimes you may delete V1 bits, sometimes, but you cannot delete this V0 because V0 is directly connected to the information. This is your actually message bit, and these two are the parity bit. So suppose that at the time t 0th instant, kth instant, suppose kth instant you are deleting that is V1. So your output is V0 and the V2. So V1, V0, V2. Next instant, k plus 1th instant, your output is V0 and V1. This way you can use the punching of your encoded bits. So there are different types of interleaver used in case of turbo codes. So block interleaver, diagonal interleaver, or even block interleaver, pseudo random interleaver, convolution interleaver. I'm not going into details. Generally, we are considering block interleaver. This is much more easy to generate. This is number of rows and columns are there. So this is the block interleaver. And helical interleaver, uniform interleaver, cyclic shift interleaver, or port match interleaver. Number of interleaver are there. So those who are in the researcher in this field, so they will be much more given concentration on different types of the interleaver techniques. Okay. So for a brief idea, to get a brief idea, just giving the different types of interleaver is used in case of turbo code. And depending on the number of input bits to the component encoder, it may be binary or M binary encoder or M-ary, whatever you say. encoder are also categorized as systematic, non-systematic, that is already mentioned. If the component encoder are not identical, it is called asymmetric turbo code. This thing also I have mentioned. That is, asymmetric means the component encoder are not identical in nature. So this thing is already I have mentioned that as it is an infinite impulse response system, so trellis code is not merges. So in order to merge the trellis code, number of zeros are required to add along with the information sequences. So to merges the trellis code. So that is the convergence. That means convergence of the code gives you the trellis code margin. So how you can merge the trellis code? By adding number of zeros along with your input bit sequence to convert your code. So these additional bits drive the conventional encoder to the all zero state trellis termination. However, this strategy is not possible for the recursive systematic encoder due to the feedback. Now, in case of your any code or any system, when you are designing to achieve some better performance, but in other way it also produces some disadvantage. So what are the disadvantages of the turbo code? So you know that turbo code is a recursive structure. So obviously the structure is your complex, and if we get a much more better performance, so obviously number of parallel concatenation of the convolution code you will be at not only 2, 3, 4, multiple. Okay, so obviously this structure is complexity will be generated, and because of this structure, so obviously if I use the two encoder or two convolution encoder, component encoder in your turbo code, obviously two decoder should be there. If three component encoder of convolution code, obviously three decoder should be there, three component decoder should be there. So obviously this complexity will be generated, and this gives you the decoding delay. Okay, this gives you the decoding delay. The structure and the complexity of turbo encoder design is restricted by decoding delay and the complexity. So it is important for the system performance since significant delay in the system may degrade the system. So increase the number of parallel coding structure increases the delay. Clear? So I cannot increase so many your that is component encoder. So you can increase the up to 100, but obviously that will be gives you the more complexity, so more decoding delay. So this should not be tolerated, and that should not be your. That means this will be obviously degrade your performance of the system. So not only the bit error rate probability, but also in other performance. Okay, other, because it is used in case of communication. And coding gain can be increased by designing the system for low SNR. Already I mentioned for low SNR, the performance of this turbo code is better, but for the high SNR, your non-recursive structure will be much more effective. Okay. It significantly weaken the performance at bit error rate below 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, so up to 10 to the power minus 5, sorry, 10 to the power minus 5, the performance of the turbo code is good enough. But if we go on 10 to the power minus 6, 10 to the power minus 7, so obviously the performance will not be that much of the good. There is a waterfall region, noise floor. I'm not mentioning all these things. So this is a decoder. So here, two decoder is shown in the figure. What are the two decoder? One is because SISO and SI, soft input, soft output, soft input, soft output. Because we are considering the two encoder, so obviously two decoder. Okay, so E1 is a estimated or estimated output of the first decoder. So that will be passed through the interleaver. Interleaver generally denoted by pi symbol. And it is go to the second decoder. Okay. Now second decoder, based on this first decoder decision and the input, this is the input, xk is your input, that is the receipt sequence. This is also interleaved, goes to the second decoder, and based on this, it will be taken some decision, probable decision, and that probable decision, it will be passed on to the through a de-interleaver to the first decoder. Why it is de-interleaver? Because already this information is interleaved. So obviously because if we send the interleave decision to the first decoder, because there was no interleave input, so it will not your info, that is your output E1 will not be correct. So that will be, you have to be in de-interleave that thing. So based on this, so number of times these loops will be repeating. It will be that is iterative algorithm will be there, and then a final decision will be taken, and you are getting the decoded sequence. So it will be gives a decision, and based on its decision and the input sequence, it will take a probable decision. Again, it will be passed on this to the first decoder, like a adaptive algorithm. It is error is minimized. The first decoder decision, second decoder decision, it will be tries to matches, and when it is as close as possible, it will be de-interleave that decision and take in the that is reliable decision. Okay. So this is the this thing is mentioned here. This is the soft input, soft output component decoder. The first decoder generates the soft output, and subsequently an extrinsic information interleaved and used by the second decoder and estimate a priori probability. The second decoder also produces an extrinsic information, passes it after the interval of first decoder to be used during subsequent decoding operation. Here, so number of decoding algorithms are used in case of turbo core. That is MAP, maximum a priori probability, and log map, max log map, and the soft output vitaB or vitaB algorithm, SOVA. So this is very effective algorithm. Some of the cases MAP is good, some of the cases SOVA is good, but SOVA is taking the decision on word, while MAP is taking decision on digit. Okay. So this MAP algorithm is a maximum likelihood algorithm based on maximum likelihood algorithm, and SOVA is asymptotically and maximum likelihood algorithm at moderate and high SNR. So MAP algorithm find most probable information bits that was transmitted, while SOVA find most probable information sequence, that is word. It is based on bits, it is based on words. Based on the word, it decides the most probable word. Okay. And it is based on the information bits. So that means for a single bits, it takes the decision if we use the MAP algorithm. Whereas if we use the SOVA algorithm, a chunk of bits it will take, and based on that, it will take the decision. So obviously, the performance wise, you can say the SOBA is much more better because map algorithm minimize the bit or symbol error probability, whereas SOBA minimizes the word error probability. So information bits returned by the map algorithm need not form a connected path through the trellis, while SOBA, it will be a connected path because SOBA is a Viterbi algorithm based on the Viterbi algorithm. So Viterbi algorithm is based on the trellis diagram. So that's why it's require a connected path. And this is not based on the trellis diagram. Okay. Map algorithm is not easily implementable due to its complexity. So there are a number of type of map algorithm. There are a number of advantage and disadvantage. I am not going all details of that. Okay, all details of that. So this is the performance. I have mentioned that the noise floor and the that is a waterfall region. So this is called the waterfall region. So where it perform better and where it's not perform. So see here, this region up to this portion, your turbo code is perform better. And after that, it's not perform better. This is called your waterfall. This is the cliff. So this is more than 10 to the power minus, that is less than, actually not more, less than 10 to the power minus 5. So this is not good. Okay. So here this called the noise floor. So this region is called the noise floor or the error floor. So if we consider your turbo code to achieve the bit error rate probably 10 to the power minus 6, so performance will not be good. It will be goes into the noise floor region. So this plot is shown for a turbo code of, this is message bit and this is your code length and sorry n k, and this is your the constraint length turbo code. With this the polynomial of this thing, your general polynomial. So it is, if we consider the uncoded system, it is shown by the dash line. If it's first iteration, see, it is same as to the uncoded. This is a decoding algorithm based on the decoding algorithm, how the decision is taken. So when it is take the first iteration, the decision is more close to uncoded system. Iteration increases, so obviously your decision will be increases. Okay. So at this position, you are not getting better performance. So where it is used for the mobile communication, satellite communication, deep space communication. Also, it is excellent error capability. It is used in space data system for space communication, CDMA, your cellular mobile communication, digital video broadcasting, and satellite communication already mentioned. And why it is used? Because of it reduces the power requirement, and obviously the code length is increases, but the bandwidth is increases. Okay. If power requirement is decreases, but because power requirement is increases, why? Because it is perform good for low signal to noise ratio. Okay, so now as it is perform good for low signal to noise ratio, so no need to increase the transmitted power. But as it is a recursive in nature and you are adding concatenate number of convolution codes, so obviously code length is increases and obviously bandwidth is increases. Okay, and you can decrease the bandwidth or decrease the redundancy by punching, deletion of the sum of the bits, that decreases the overhead of the coding system. So that's your all for the turbo code. Some example I have given here, so for your reference. Okay, That's all for your turbo code. If you have any question, you can ask. Do you have any question or any query regarding the turbo codes? তোমরা বুঝতে পেরেছো তো? সবাই মিউট করে থাকলে আর কি করে বুঝবো? ইয়েস ম্যাম, একজন বললো। আচ্ছা, তোমাদের কোন কোন নোটস গুলো দেয়া আছে একটু না আমাকে একটু বলে দিও, আমার মনে নেই কোনখান থেকে দিইনি, মানে অনেকগুলোই দেয়া হয়নি, হয়তো আমি বিভিন্ন বাড়ির একটু ঝামেলায় ফেঁসে আছি সেজন্য। অনেকগুলো হয়তো দেয়া হয়নি তোমাদেরকে, একটু দেখে একটু আমাকে মেনশন করে দিও, আমি সেইগুলো পাঠিয়ে দেবো। আমাদের সিলেবাসে টার্বো কোড পর্যন্তই আছে, মানে আমি আমার পাঠ্যপুথিতে দেখি আমি নেক্সট ক্লাসে যদি কিছু করাতে পারি, না হলে আমি তোমাদেরকে জানিয়ে দেবো যদি আরো কিছু এক্সট্রা করাতে পারি। অভিক প্রেজেন্ট।